What? Are you what? What are we doing?
So it's March 26th, and it's 1:30 in the morning, and we still have hours and hours of work to do.
Captain's log.
Captain's log.
Okay, we're doing something really weird today. We're not in our usual spot. We're at Treasure Trove Games. We're in their game room.
Beautiful, wonderful Treasure Trove James. Treasure
Trove James.
Live, not live from Treasure Trove Games in Salem.
It's 1:31 in the morning. We're trying to do a reaction and response to the reveal show that just happened to you last night. Probably haven't watched it yet if it's tomorrow.
Wait, but it's today now.
No,
it's today for you.
It's today for us too.
Oh, it is today for
It's
us.
tomorrow for us, but it's also last night. Anyway, we just watched the reveal show. We took a bunch of screen caps. We wrote down a bunch of our thoughts, and we're going to share with you what we think about them.
Yeah, all the new models, all the new rules, all the new trailer, and it's really exciting.
Yeah, I'm amped, and I think we should just let's do it.
Yeah.
Give us some feedback. Be nice.
Or be mean.
Or be mean.
But be mean to him.
Tell him how
nice
ugly he is. All right, launch. Joe bros wanna do lunch. Yeah, bros just wanna do lunch. Bros. Okay, so the first thing we got to see was this really cool video where, again, they were going for like absolute maximum diorama awesomeness. And first thing I noticed was they buried all their bases.
Yeah. Throughout the show, they really tried to hide a lot of the bases.
I think that's cool. I feel like it really contributes to the sense of like awesome diorama-ness.
But I also definitely feel like some of their models really lean into the diorama-ness.
Yeah, I do feel like they were going hard into some of the diorama. I mean, I don't want to jump ahead, but like on that hippogriff, I thought this looked really cool. I was a big fan of this. Now, this sisters unit thing, the giant, like, what did they call it?
This was the first thing that grabbed my attention. Intransia.
Yes, on the throne of blame. No, it's your fault. No, you. Look what you made me do. That's what I imagine she's saying. It kind of reminds me of Inquisitor Karamazov. Clearly. And
that's exactly what I was thinking.
I think they might have even like specifically mentioned the other one.
But I didn't know the name of his throne.
Right.
Because they were like, there are 3 other thrones, not including the one on Terra. And it was like, one of them has to be Karamazov.
Right. I think so too.
But
I don't know what it's called.
That's no longer a legit model, is it?
It's no longer in the game, yeah.
No
it
longer
is now
Legends
only.
Totally.
Yeah. Super cool. Would consider starting a Sisters Army just to have this.
I might buy this model. Just because. If I know any Sisters players... I'm just going to buy this and paint that for them. Because I just want it.
Okay. Then the next thing we saw was this big thing.
Just Judge Dredd as fuck.
This was before they explicitly said who this was. This was from the cinematic. Mm-hmm. I think I wrote it down somewhere. But the weird thing about this character was they show up in 2 different poses.
I was really confused by that. And then on the box art, I guess we haven't gotten there yet, but I feel like that raised more questions than it answered.
Graves Fist. That's what she's called. Inquisitor Graves Fist.
I think it's just Inquisitor Graves.
You're right. I just noticed the fist.
Yeah, we noticed. There's a big fist that we saw from a, what do they call those things? Rumor engine?
Oh, yeah. The rumor engine. And they were trying to figure out what that might be, if that might be like a Kazarkin. Yeah. Some people were talking about it might be that. Yeah,
let's see if we get another shot of this, because I think this might actually... Nope. All right, we'll have to come back to that later.
Well, we're going to move forward. I think we get a named screenshot pretty soon here. But,
yeah.
And then, of course, they started to tease up. This is what I personally was most excited about, because I play Orcs and specifically Speedwog. This is crazy. This is the perfect box for us. This 2nd edition box was the box that we started playing on. If you've seen previous videos, you probably already heard us say that. And then they even like did the cover art and the 2 factions. It's perfect. It's amazing. So I was insanely excited about Speedwog and this little fix-it.
I'm not going to lie. I kind of feel like the Orc models that I've seen are cooler than the Blood Angel model so far.
Obviously. Because Wazdaka Gutsmack. Okay.
Well, they had some great photography. Even if they couldn't get the audio to work, at least the photography team was on top of it.
Yes. Oh my God. Nobody quite know. Well, not nobody, but probably fairly few people who watch this channel have attempted photography, like high quality photography of miniatures.
'Tis challenging.
It's not as easy as you think. It's not as easy as you think. But dude, okay. Gutsmack, I'm insanely juiced.
Dude, yeah. Darn, it's so weird with like the ordering on these things.
Yeah, we're just gonna roll with it. Yeah. I mean, like the thing about Gutsmack that blew my mind was how far off of the center of his base he is. I guess in this photo we can't see quite as well.
If we jump forward a bit.
Yeah, I guess we'll just jump around and see what happens. Oh God.
Oh, I don't think we can.
We're not
do that.
jumping around. Yeah. Dude, so Gutsmack is like 50% of the front of the bike looks like it's in front of the oval of his base.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
Should we?
I feel like we should wait until we get to that part to talk about it.
Well, I don't know. Let's see. I feel like I want to try and let's find out.
All right. This thing I really liked, but one of the things that really blew me away about like the two new Imperial Guard things is
the
that
Centaur and the Hippogriff.
Yeah, they both look like more World War II and less World War I to me. I feel like I'm seeing like an aesthetic shift here. And like some things in the Guard, in the Guard Codex already kind of look that way a little bit, but I feel like they're leaning more towards modern mechanized look rather than the World War I look.
Was the World War I aesthetic mostly, is that not Death Corps of Krieg more than anything though?
But also just like the Lemon Rust tank and like the Land Raider, just a lot of vehicles look like they've got like the giant tracks that were more associated with like World War I vehicles, And I feel like they're kind of departing from that a little bit, specifically in the Guard in this particular case.
Yeah. Also, isn't a Hippogriff something that was invented by J.K. Rowling?
A Hippogriff?
Yeah. The Hippogriff was
No, that's way before that because they were in D&D.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
We might have to look this up.
Yeah, somebody tell us if a Hippogriff is real. I didn't know that. But okay, and a Centaur.
Centaurs are real for sure.
Yes.
They live in South America.
Yep, that's along with the big people.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I thought this was a particularly cool piece because of the open top and the diorama in there.
Yeah. Well, that was the other thing is like when I saw this, I just felt like it just made me think of the beginning when they were hiding the base and how many things felt like a diorama. And then some of these models really looking like they're going for the diorama aspects.
They're really trying to up the ante with the artwork that goes into this.
I appreciate. I feel like if they're going to continue to sell things at that price, they need to have good artwork.
Agreed. And I do have to say, though, that I bet you this would be a nightmare to frickin' paint.
I was thinking about that, too.
This is so many sub-assemblies right now.
Yeah, I'm not assembling that for... Can you imagine painting this Guardman in the bottom if you had already, like, stuck him in there?
Yeah, but I was kind of confused because they were going hard into the Imperial Guard, and I guess I was just thinking a lot about the Blood Angels and the Orcs that were supposed to come out in the launch box. And I was, I don't know, I was kind of caught off guard, no pun intended, by all the Imperial Guard. And I guess it's because I don't recognize the significance of Armageddon.
Maybe me neither.
The planet is Armageddon?
The planet is Armageddon. There have been 2 wars for Armageddon already.
Okay. So Armageddon's already pretty fluffed up.
And probably primarily with guardsmen. Mostly they've been dying there for generations.
Oh, God. Okay, so, but they did get to Blood Angels later. They were just showing off a lot of guard at the beginning. And they actually broke up the presentation into 2 separate videos because I assume they had some massive error.
Well, a lot of the first video just said like technical error.
And then the chat was just like, son of a gun, you guys suck, your mom.
I still want to know what all those red figures were. Like,
oh, yeah.
Maybe I'm just like pointing to how not online I am, but I was like, everybody seems to be making the same joke that I don't get.
It's some kind of roast. Yeah. All right. What do we get after the Centaur?
Now we have that other weird sculpt of Graves that is not the same as her on that big old vehicle that she has. That's like Judge Dredd is hell. So we saw first like one Sisters of Battle thing. Then we saw these 2 light Imperial Guard vehicles. Was there anything else? And then we got straight to Commissar Graves. Yeah.
And Commissar Graves is a Goyle, and I'll bet you some players are going to be really mad about it.
Not for Imperial Guard.
No, they just it's just the Space Marines that are sacred and have to be men.
And apparently Custodes.
Oh.
Custodians will have to be men. But not anymore.
Yes. Well, Commissar Graves is cool as hell. Okay, but here's where you can see it. The two different poses, right?
But this is why I'm confused. Because like clearly we had this model and then we also have her like inside this vehicle. And that's clearly a different pose. Is these just two separate models and you can run her either way? That's kind of what I'm getting from this.
Yeah, I didn't really pick that up. Let's go back and forth a little. Look at her left leg. Her left leg.
Yeah, here it's like right leg is like up and just like on that thing.
Those could be the same model.
Really? But look at the jacket.
The jacket is doing the same thing.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Look at the right leg on the jacket.
Yeah, that piece would be replaced.
Okay, go back one more time.
Because look at this. Okay, let's see. There's two buttons and then two missing buttons. And then there's more missing buttons. Maybe it's a whole lower half swap. But like the chest piece remains the same. The face is looking the same direction. The jacket, like fluff around the collar, is identical. I think those are the same model. And maybe it's sort of like the grotesques, or not the grotesques. Who are the flayed guys for the Dark Eldar, where they like, you can buy the box and just put them on the vehicle if you'd rather do that.
Dude, but you need leg swaps and you'd need arm swaps. So the only thing that's consistent there is the chest.
Well, as I see this pose right here, I see a pose that could just as easily work as a standing pose if you gave her a leg down. I see this as an alternate pose that works both standing or in the vehicle. You know?
I'm just very confused about what that means.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll find out. That's an unusual thing for them to do. Cool. But Commissar Graves is cool. And it's called, what is it called again? It's just called Commissar Graves.
This is also just called Commissar Graves.
Yeah.
But I think this is my very favorite piece so far. Yeah. This is so freaking cool.
This little eagle up here under her foot is Judge Dredd as F.
I know.
It's so sick. And then they compared it to, what is it? Yarick apparently has a Land Raider. But I thought I remember seeing
Yarick has a Land Raider?
That's what they said. I thought I heard them say that when they were talking about this. This is like the equivalent of Yarick's, or not a Land Raider, a Baneblade. That Yarick has a Baneblade. So I guess Commissar Graves gets this thing instead.
I feel like that's definitely something we should know.
But I always thought Yarick just had, maybe it's because of Miniscape, but like he did the rhino that was custom for Yarick. And now that was the artwork that I can only see is him in a rhino. Huh. But that's feeble for someone of his stature, or status at least.
Okay, well, I said the other one was my favorite, but I think I just lied because I already forgot about Intransia Frey.
Intransia Frey, what a name.
Oh, holy crap. That is the coolest model ever.
Yeah.
I also wonder, because I heard some people wondering if Karamazov was going to get a new model, and I wonder if they just like took all that and they're like, no, we can make a cooler walker.
Yeah,
because it borrows so heavily from that sculpt or from that idea.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously the sculpt.
Well, like the legs are more Paragon Warsuit like, so it's trying to get a little more sisters.
Well, also they've got the back bend.
Yeah, which is also a Paragon Warsuit thing, isn't it?
No, that's true. The Paragon Warsuit.
Yeah, they got like a Paragon Warsuit, and then there's no like pair.
It made
me
think of like a carnivore or like the smaller Chaos Knights.
Yeah, Warhound.
Yeah, maybe I just hadn't noticed that the sisters and the Chaos Knights have something in common.
Yeah, well, it's got to be more lithe if it's feminine. Feminine robot war machines. Look at them sexy legs.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Intransia Frey
in front of a lake.
Sick. Oh yes,
yes. Observing the landscape.
Chilling. She's like, it's that fish's fault, isn't it? Something about.
I like the cherub. I want that on my dreadnoughts.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I'm always on the hunt for more cherubs to stick on my dreadnoughts.
Yeah. There's a lot in Sisters of Battle.
Oh man,
this guy Inquisitor Croyle was the next one they showed off, and holy crap.
I just feel like he's got some serious Don Quixote vibes.
Yes.
Like
Lord of La Munchies.
I feel like he needs like a little buddy to come along with him. Who is that guy?
I don't remember.
I want to say Poncho, but it's probably wrong.
I'm sure that's wrong.
I'm positive it's wrong.
Yeah, and we're not good at saying that.
Yeah.
But this dude, he definitely has like a Spanish conquistador helm.
Yeah.
But then he has like a super, like his musket weapon sniper thing.
Super steampunk.
Super steampunk.
Love that.
And then they teased a little bit of the rules on this guy. So like he's got lone operative, which is sick. He's a sniper. And if he continues to harass the same unit, if he hits them several times,
then they get like
the damage
escalating debuff. Oh,
no, is that the damage
goes up
as you harass the same unit, which sounds cool as hell.
So he is like hunting something down.
That's pretty sick.
That's really cool. I'm not gonna lie, there's some really cool guard releases.
Yeah, I think, and this weird steed thing.
But I like the one with the mouth open.
Oh, I didn't even notice the mouth open.
I'd be so sad if I used one of the other sculpts because the mouth open is so fun.
I thought he was just kidding. He said it, he's like, oh, it's even uglier with the mask off. And I thought he was just joking, but no, you can totally do it.
Dude, I just love all the teeth. He definitely needs some dental work.
Dude, this guy is so cool.
Although his teeth kind of remind me a little bit of some Kroot models. Am I crazy?
Oh, I can see why. Oh, and the other thing about the lore they shared is that his steed, this is the last remaining specimen of the species.
Because he hunted the rest into extinction. It's like, I'm going to save the last one.
And make
I love the like
bitch.
little like praying mantis arms in the front.
Oh, it's pretty. It's really cool. And the paint job that they ended up, this thing, it's a perfect paint job.
Yeah, it's well done. The feather in the cap. I missed
know,
that.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a perfect paint job. I have no notes. Do you think when they have swaps like that they just have one piece not glued on and then they swap out for the alternate?
You mean for making these models?
For like the heavy metal team. Do you think the heavy metal team painted one version of this, but swapped out the face and kept everything else?
So like it's literally the same model, but they just like have a separate piece?
Yeah, they're just like, well, we'll not glue the head so we can also take a picture of it with the alternate head. What do you think?
I think that makes sense.
I mean, otherwise you're like, hey, do you want to paint the same model for another 20 hours or however long it takes?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, I definitely feel like I see the same shading, but I mean, if it was the same artist who was trying to stick to the same style, I mean, I guess that's what you do. So.
Oh, and then I think they mentioned specifically as a big game hunter that he was going to like the weird boys. So he's going to be looking for weird boys because that seems like something that the orcs are for sure going to be getting here. And we saw a little bit of teases of that later.
Yeah.
Cool.
Excited to look at that.
I would get this model just even though I have nothing else Inquisition.
Badass. Oh, I wonder if I can ally him into my Space Marines. I might be able to use this model.
I'm sure you can.
Oh, I want him so bad.
Especially with the multiple detachments thing, which we will say more about later because we saw the whole thing and you haven't maybe. Maybe you have. I bet you most people have.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Looking great.
Spectacular. Okay, and then they had to dip in and out of the models, which was great. But they talked about here, there was this middle book here, Armored Gauntlet, which is
this is the new narrative series.
Yeah, and this Armored Gauntlet thing is designed specifically so that you can pit large armored armies together. Like they said this would be a great way for you to pit a speed wog against like an armored battalion of Imperial Guard. And I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Also a great way to encourage you to buy like 12 Lehman Russes.
Oh, yeah. Or a Dane Blade.
Or 30 bikes. Who wants 30 orc bikes? Oh, he wants 30.
I want 30 orc bikes. I have like 5. No, I have 8 with the big ones. Okay.
All right. Get some more detachments in there.
Yada, yada, yada.
Right. The Armageddon box. So if you wanted all the new stuff and you don't already have 3 Lehman Russes.
Right. So this looks like this was the new battle force that comes out with 2 of the hippogriffs, 1 centaur, 10 dudes, and what's that one again?
The Lehman Russ.
That's the Lehman Russ.
I just wonder about it because if I was playing guard, I'd want this box so bad, but I'd also probably be totally spent on Lehman Russes.
Are you sure that's a Lehman Russ and not a Rogel Dorn?
Oh,
that's a Rogel. That's
Dorn. A Rogel Dorn.
Yeah.
You're totally.
People
right.
were excited about this. That's cool.
Yeah,
good for them.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, this one though. Okay,
some people were excited for this.
So then they also teased that there would be the box with the orcs. I'm very excited. I definitely want maximum Def Coptas, so this is going to be a thing.
But these are not new sculpts.
None of these are new sculpts.
Wait, what's this guy in the bottom left?
That's a Def Killer War Trike. which I have, but I have the alternate sculpt from.
Well, because I recognize the forks. The forks look like something you have. Did they borrow that?
Oh well, I mean they're constantly trying to borrow from like the design philosophy, but like just cradle it, but not fully.
Not get a full grasp on it.
Yeah, I would totally get this if I didn't already have a billion unpainted orcs, and I might still anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had a couple other battle forces. What else is in here?
You got a couple more like.
Oh wait, go back. Okay, so this is entirely unnecessary for this video, but I love the Ruckatwuck squig buggy. There's like a dude on the back with the cannon, and there's just squigs running all over the thing. He just grabs one and sticks it in the cannon and shoots. Oh, I love orcs. They're so cool.
Oh, so good. Just squigs.
Yeah.
Just running around the battlefield, munching on necks.
Yeah.
Necks.
What else we got here? Okay, and then there was
the Adeptus Sororitas battalion box, which I noticed has the Novitiates kill team in it.
It has a Novitiates kill team, but otherwise they're all regular ass.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised by this because I thought the Novitiates kill team was going away, but maybe not.
Oh,
I don't know. I heard rumors, but we don't play a kill team as much as we would like.
No, we just like the characterful models that
we've just dabbled a little bit and bought some of them.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, close look at those guys. Paragon war suits.
Oh yeah, and then this kind of came out of sort of nowhere.
I'm confused by this Deathwatch box. They're like, do you want one squad and then the transport for that one squad?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like,
it's not really. Are there actually 10 guys?
There's 10 guys in there.
There are 10 guys. Yeah.
I think that's all the variations for the Deathwatch kill team, but it's obviously not being marketed as a kill team box.
No. And then what's this thing called?
The Death Guard veterans.
Corvus.
I think these might just be Deathwatch veterans. I'll bet you those are the loadouts they're allowed to have. Since I've been looking into them.
What's the vehicle called?
Corvus Blackstar?
Corvus Blackstar. I wanted to call it the Corvus Belly, but that's the other.
I think it looks kind of dumb. I love Deathwatch. I'm not really a fan of that.
I think it's cool.
That's nice.
It's weird, but it's cool. And we got some closer up pictures of them. Okay, so look at these things. Everybody's been trying to get the Deathwatch Primaris size, but
wait, no, because there's some like Phobos models in here. So it can't just be the veterans.
You can't be a Phobos veteran?
No, but the veteran squad doesn't have Phobos models in it.
Oh, it doesn't? Oh, you just did a Deathwatch deep dive.
Yeah, I've been researching some Deathwatch for a future video.
And it looks like we got like a white scar right here, which is cool. This guy looks like an ultramarine. I don't know what this guy with the black and yellow and red is, but he's clearly a Blade Guard veteran.
Well, they have a bunch of models that can have just like, I can't remember what they called them, but like a shield and a large melee weapon.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I wonder what that is. The Angry Marines, probably.
Oh my God, that'd be so funny if they featured that in one of their boxes.
What a dream.
I feel like they would win so many points from the community if they did.
And then this guy down here, is this Space Wolves or
no? I don't know what that is.
I don't know, the angry other Space Wolf.
I think he's a descendant of the Space Wolves.
Yeah, he's got the hammer, he's got the wolfy vibes, and this guy's clearly okay. Deathwatch is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
They're really cool. I love that you can put all the different shoulder pads on there,
but also
and have all the different flavors.
Random that they would throw it in here. Mm-hmm. And then this guy, Jules German.
I have no idea who he is.
Yeah, he's the creative director of consumer products. And he also might be your meditative guru that will give you acid.
Yeah, he looks awfully boho. I'm just saying.
Is it boho? Bohemian? Oh my, yeah. He definitely looks like he's had a seat with Ravi Shankar. Yes. Love that. Oh, okay. And that was
I was so confused by this though, because at first it was like, oh my God, it's a new Mephiston model. And I'm like, wait a second.
Like, holy crap, that's a good paint job.
So much detail on that. How is that possible?
That paint job's insane.
So they told us the thing is 1/6 scale.
Yeah, so if it's 1/6 scale, and you imagine,
and he's like 9 feet tall,
so it's like a foot and a half tall.
Foot and a half.
Holy buns! This thing's as big as a Warlord Titan.
Well, somewhere in here we have a picture of someone painting it. Wow, those are really cool.
Yeah.
Where is it? Oh man, that's really sick. Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so you get a sense for how
his
big
head is the size of that dude's palm almost.
It's like bigger than a kiwi.
Yeah.
That is cool. There's not a snowball's chance in hell that's something that we would consider, though. Am I right?
No, I'm not going to buy that.
Yeah, that's not a thing.
It's not a thing. I would love to see it.
They have such a dipping, dodging, weaving way of doing these reveal shows.
No, it keeps you engaged. You're like, wait, when's the next thing I want? Oh, I don't care
everybody
about this,
in the comments is like, get back
I'm
to 40K.
still hanging on your every word. I mean, the ones that I can hear. Yeah, so they showed off this. They also showed off that cool White Scars helmet, which it's
that's right. Actually, they said they're both by Weta Workshop, didn't they?
Weta Workshop?
Weta Workshop. Are you familiar with Weta Workshop?
No, I thought you were just making up noises.
No, Weta Workshop is a real thing. They're the ones that made all of the bigatures that were a part of the Lord of the Rings movies. And they're also the group that is always working with Zorpazorp. Zorpazorp always seems to be talking about Weta Workshop because he makes giant...
I do remember him mentioning that now.
Yeah, Weta Workshop is a bunch of ballers, dude.
Okay.
That's actually pretty cool that they're doing that with Weta.
Yeah.
But I bet you this thing's going to be $1 billion jillion.
Yeah. And I just don't have $1 billion jillion.
Nah, I'm a little short of $1 billion.
And the helmet's probably only going to be $1 billion.
Yeah, the helmet's only going to be $1 billion. Here's the one where you can see the whole or most of the guy. That would take so long.
Also, yeah, we kind of skipped through some of the stuff where we were showing. There we go.
Yeah.
And that's pretty really cool. I really like his head too.
I feel bad saying this. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't feel like they did everything they could on this paint job. This is the lightning on the hand feels a little flat where it turns red. Mm-hmm. Too many of the colors in the face feel like they're approximately the same color. Maybe that's the style. Like
he was supposed to be pale, but I do agree with you. It's kind of hard to see a lot of that detail. I also noticed that like just on the tubing and the gloss on the chest really bothered me and just like, you know, really took me out of it.
I feel like I want to see higher highlights, and here I am picking nits, but like this is like built of midtones to my eye, and that's a bummer.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, but anyway, that thing. And then do we get down to the helmet? The sword is pretty cool.
I don't think we took a picture of the helmet. I was less excited.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Did you?
Yeah, because why wouldn't I? Am I going the wrong way?
No, you're going the right way.
Lord Mephiston!
They showed it off right afterwards.
Yeah, he's getting excited. Look how excited.
The cool White Scars helmet.
Yes, the cool
I am curious how much those are, but they're probably more than I want to spend.
He made sure to be very clear that even the fattest of fat heads will fit in there.
Yeah, should fit even a superhuman head.
There's a lot of fat heads in Warhammer players, myself included. I've got a big fat melon. Look how excited he is. He's like, yeah! Wasn't this also Weta? Maybe it was Weta. Maybe it wasn't. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. What was this one? No.
The next thing they showed off.
Aeronautica Imperialis.
Was the ad for Aeronautica Imperialis, and it's going to be Eldar. How excited are you?
An animation from, what is it, Warhammer Plus?
Yeah, Warhammer
Plus. Warhammer Plus.
The parallel to Disney Plus.
But I also just feel like it wouldn't be a great show to show from the human perspective, because if they're going up against Eldar, aren't they just always dying all the time?
The Eldar or the people?
The humans.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. They're dying all the time. Because the Eldar neener. They don't have to play by the rules. They can just meh.
Well, they're just naturally better than everyone else. Obviously.
I'm good. You are a jerk. Okay, there we go. We did get the one shot of like the Razor Wing jet fighter or whatever. Is that what that is?
Yeah, and then like the human pilot. And then
Guy from Daft Punk.
Daft Punk. He features in the show. One thing I noticed here that I was kind of surprised by is like he's a Guardian body.
And he has two giant nipples.
But these two dimples on the front, which I always paint as gems, are not gems.
Oh.
And the bumps on his shoulders, which I always paint as gems, are not gems.
Oh.
And I'm like, am I painting my Eldar wrong?
No, you're painting them the way cooler way. They, instead of just having their dad on their necklace, they have like 7 generations past all on their body.
They have their spirit stone, but then they also have 19 backup spirit stones in case one of them cracks.
Yes. Backups on backups. You're fine. I think it's worth it. I think it looks really cool. I don't care about Disney Plus. I don't care about the animations nearly as much as maybe I should.
I mean, some of the animations are cool. I personally get annoyed when the animations are not done super well. And maybe it's just because it's on like its own separate platform that's like, do you want to pay extra to see this? And I'm like, well, I feel like I want to watch something as good as the launch trailer then.
Which is hard to do. It's cool. It is cool. Aeronautica. Look at explosions. Yeah, it was all right.
Eldar blowing stuff up.
Oh, I did this because it was only here that I realized their names were Eddie and Adam. Eddie and Adam.
Adam and Eddie.
Wait, didn't you say you thought that this guy was the guy that was in like the weird trailers?
Isn't he the guy that was like on the motorcycle and like the teaser pictures and stuff?
Maybe you're right. Maybe
I could be wrong. All I see is just like red and a leather jacket,
and maybe,
but it's also got the patches.
Was this the guy that was in the fancy room doing the painting on the orc warbike?
I'm not going to lie.
The two
I
guys?
have no idea who these two dudes are.
I have no idea either. They're Eddie and Adam.
Who are Adam and Eddie?
We don't know probably some of the most important details, do we?
It's like these are the creators.
Yeah, they're the. Okay, then we got this bad boy.
Yeah. So what was it? It was Kill Team. What were they calling it?
Oh, that's right. This was part of the new Kill Team revelations.
Right.
They called it the Nemesis Terror.
Yeah, Nemesis Operatives.
This was also when there was a giant gap in the audio. So they're like, it's going to be crazy. So the big difference is going to be. Yeah. And then it was like nothing for like 10 minutes.
And then just the chat going wild.
And then the chat's like, what the flipping flip? Oh, and then at the end they're like, yeah, and it's going to be crazy for all of that. But I think we kind of pieced together that it's some way.
We got to hear quite a bit about this.
Yeah.
Well, because I've been more interested in Kill Team. Like I've been interested in a lot because I feel like it's a much easier way to get new players involved. And it's just a lot faster. But I love the idea of just taking down big bads in Kill Team, and it looks like that's what they're doing.
Yeah, and it seemed like it was that no player is in control of the Nemesis. So the Nemesis seems to describe the big bad that you might be fighting in Kill Team.
Yes, and then there are a number of different nemesis.
They actually covered
that you might encounter.
That you might, and like, is this like a playing against an NPC type of a thing?
That's what I thought it was going to be, and I feel like some of the things they said made it sound like that was one thing you could do. But like two different kill teams against one of these big things. But they also explicitly mentioned that there's rules for like you can have a kill team battle, and then just in the middle, this guy is fighting a Redemptor. That's just like not part of your battle.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, there might be a Hellbrute and a Redemptor duking it out in the just across your battlefield, which sounds cool as hell. But I feel like how
you're like, I'm just trying to freaking sabotage the depot over there.
Meanwhile, they're just Kool-Aid Manning through everything. Oh yeah,
just not giving a fuck what you're up to.
So what other?
I love this model though. I mean, I'm always gonna love the Tyranids. I frequently wonder multiple times a year why I don't have a Tyranid army.
Because you already have two armies that are mostly unpainted. No, one's mostly painted, one's mostly unpainted. We both are in that position. It's fine. You can't have too many at once, or else. Well, I don't know.
Wait, oh yeah, and they showed us some of the kill team models. I mean, some of these guard models are pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, there's an elite like Spectre. That's what they're called. The Spectre squad is a super elite scout kill team squad. Again, this was happening while the audio was going.
So they were supposedly telling us about what these guys were doing.
Look at the audio. Look at the chat over here. No audio. Yay, no audio. Not back. Welcome back. Hey people. Zinch here. What the hell is happening? No audio.
Ooh, Vox Relay Bacon.
Oh yeah, the Vox Relay Bacon does look delicious. That's actually one of the cuter models I've ever seen.
I like these images of them like coming out of the strike craft though. That's pretty cool.
You know, actually it's funny. This image right here really gives me vibes of the first moment in Halo 1 when you approach the library.
Really? Because this really makes me think of Aliens 2.
That also.
They like arrive in the fog. They've got that weird
squad
thing.
Of ultimate badasses. Yes.
Bad hombres, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's with all the red, dude?
Okay, what is this red thing?
Somebody has to tell us what the red. We're old.
It looks like just a judgmental, annoyed emoji. I don't think it's anything that needs or has an explanation.
But everyone has the same one, and I'm just like, all right. Or maybe they just started copying each other.
I'm Elvis.
Never mind. I'm dating myself right now. We're moving on.
Well, be good to yourself.
Oh, this shot was so much fun.
Yes, with the just red terror
through the mist.
Oh, dude, we need to get some more colored lights so we can do some of this. This foreground, background, really high quality miniature shot. Oh. I'm such a fan.
Same. There it is. I like this model.
Yeah, it's definitely got some. So I don't understand why one organism in a Tyranid fleet would be like its own colors, but I feel like there might be opportunities. I feel like there's a danger.
There are different bugs that have different purposes. Not all of them look the same. And even within the same hive fleet, they will sometimes take on different characteristics to specialize.
I guess so, but that seems to suggest that they have like like, okay, it's just like the subtle simultaneous, there is no localized intelligence amidst the Borg, but also the Queen is like, yeah, I am the Borg. So like, I don't know, like it feels like if they're all one intelligence, like maybe, I don't know, maybe the chemistry of their carapace is different. Whatever, you're right.
Wait, are we trying to science Warhammer right now?
No, good call. My bad. Look at go back one. Look at this sniper in the bottom right. It looks like her hood is about 3/4 of an inch thick. Maybe a full inch. That is some.
We're just like
thick,
every cape in Warhammer.
yeah. I
This is
guess.
actually 7 laminated sheets of burlap.
I mean, the limitations of a scale model.
Totally.
I get it.
Yeah, box looks cool. Here we go.
Okay, this is one of the other nemeses.
Wait, the Archivist.
Yeah, the Archivist is one of the
related to archives.
Yeah.
Is he a smart bug?
Yeah, dude, the Zotes are
Some
super
kind of
smart.
smart bug.
Okay, I find the idea offensive.
Exactly.
Dude, I think this is literally the same model that was already released, though. This is not a new model.
Oh, really? Well, because I've seen images of this, but I don't know anything about the backstory.
This exact model was packaged and sold in Blackstone Fortress. I know this for sure. It was one of the Blackstone Fortress expansions.
They did mention that. I was hoping it was going to be the
As
Eldar Sniper.
As was the other one, the one that comes up here, the Amble.
Oh, this one is awesome looking.
The Amble is also explicitly part of Blackstone Fortress as an expansion.
I like this model.
And Jay painted this up on one of his on Eons of Battle. And he did a great job, as per usual.
Dude.
I don't know if these guys
what are
were
these
in
little
there.
like buggy things along with it?
I don't think they were in the Blackstone
Oh,
Fortress.
he kind of reminds me of, what is it, Centipedal from Steven Universe?
I don't. Oh yeah! Oh, that spits acid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, then we
what
go
is this?
back to 30K.
Right. 30K, another Land Raider, but has lots of bolters.
Yes, and lots of iron rivets, even more rivets.
Yeah, so many
Actually,
rivets.
maybe this one isn't as big of an example of that.
Oh, these rivets are cool.
We're going to look through the Horus Heresy stuff just because it's relevant as a proxy. Maybe
the Ogren guys. Well, these guys definitely go back to like a World War I. Also, just sort of like diving bell sort of like weird vibe.
I think if you were going to make a Dark Mechanicum army, there would be a way to include these guys. Right here, that's a Dark Mechanicum dude.
Although, did we get one where you see his face?
Yes, look at this guy. I'm sorry, but that is fabulous. That is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, why embarrass yourself like this with the 5th grade audio? Oh,
oh yeah, no, everybody's complaining. The audio was not good.
Now the paint job on that face is incredible. Can we appreciate that for a moment? Holy crap, is that incredible?
It's almost like they pay artists to do this professionally.
Way to go, Games Workshop. I wonder if those people hate painting miniatures now. His knee looks a little flat. To be honest.
I always think about the fact that, like, even if they do enjoy painting the models, it's like you have to paint it of a specific style. You don't get to paint it the way you want.
There's no creative decisions, which is when you fall back into the realm of craftsmanship, perhaps.
Yeah.
And the rapier carriers were back.
Oh, also, I guess they're now giving Imperial forces the mole cannon.
Is that what I'm seeing there?
It shoots down into the ground. At least that's what I was gathering from the broken audio.
Wow.
I think it's
weird.
like the mole artillery from like Votan. Maybe this is where it came from. They just split off during this era. Actually, I think they split off way earlier.
This was a thing that in 9th edition you could give to Chaos Space Marines, which was a rapier carrier. It was a little smaller than this.
Regular Marines too.
Regular Marines could also do the rapier carrier. I thought that was so cool that you could just have a mega gun that was kind of vulnerable.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that was super fun. I was sad to see it go to Legends.
I like that the guy's got like a little seat now rather than just like walking alongside.
Right. Well, I don't know if there was ever an official Games Workshop model for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the one I got is from Cromlech.
Oh.
And I thought those worked out pretty well. Clearly, they were trying to be a rapier carrier.
All right.
And then we got some Age of Sigmar bull crap. Okay.
Oh, yeah. And then we finally get to the reveal trader.
Yeah, they're like, yay, back to
trailer.
40K. The reveal trail.
The room goes wild.
Wah!
Dude, the reveal trailer was really good. I didn't feel like it was definitely shorter than the last one. And I don't feel like the production quality was quite as high.
Well, this is weird. I feel like you can be more sort of atmospheric with Tyranids, where orcs ask to be made fun of.
Yeah.
And I feel like that changes the nature of what you create with them.
I don't feel like they made fun of them very much.
Well,
though. Like the fun aspect of the orcs and their like silliness definitely didn't come through in my opinion.
And let me clarify. What I don't mean is that they disparage or make or trivialize them. It's that when you see orcs on there, they're fun. Like they're just like, rah, rah, rah. Like that's just, that doesn't lead like the dark like shadows and the mist of like the termagants running through the grass. Like you don't get an equivalent of that when you're playing with orcs. So I sort of feel like they had to lean into a different flavor in order to make it work out well.
I guess, but I just like, I don't think that they were animated quite as well. They were just like the scene, like there were some scenes that I thought looked really good, but some that I was like, oh, like, you know, the shading doesn't look as detailed. Like there's not, it doesn't look as realistic.
Okay. Maybe.
You know?
I wonder if they got a different animation studio or what.
Yeah.
They should have got the Astartes guy.
And I'm really curious about this because this is clearly the melee captain that everybody's been talking about. And as far as I'm concerned, how is this different than the Blade Guard captain?
And is this an Iron Halo? Okay.
But like, he just looks like a Blade Guard captain to me. Not that I'm sad about it. I'm just saying, like, he's supposed to be a new captain, or what's the deal with that?
He's the same dude as Space Marines be. Okay, I don't know what this photo is.
I think that was the chaplain, but
no, he doesn't have a jump pack. Oh, that's right. So I was taking photos to point out that in this this launch trailer, there weren't just Blood Angels. There were Ultramarines.
Oh yeah, they were Ultramarines. He mentioned the fact that there were also White Scars and Black Templars on the planet.
Yeah, he said that there was like a whole schmattering. I feel like they just opened the book to be like, hey, yup, everyone's there, so your guys are there.
Exactly. Yeah, we got some Ultramarines in there. Oh, here's the chaplain. I just love this like golden-haired chaplain who just looks
with the laser nostril. There's like a spark going right across his face in the moment of this. He looks Blood Angels as hell. Look at him. It looks like Romulus and Remus made one person.
Oh yeah, we got the land speeder, which looks very much like the old land speeders. And since I still have a few of those that I don't want to get rid of, I'm very stoked to see that. I'm curious about how big they're going to be.
Hopefully not as huge as that last big box thing, but I feel like they have to be.
But just like, you know, the new Space Marine land speeders just seem too big to me.
Yeah.
They're big.
They're real big.
They're just a different thing. Also, we got to see it shot down. Shit down.
We got to see it shit down by this.
Shit down.
The other thing, so we're looking at this new cinematic trailer and trying to spot everything that clearly is like a tip of the hat to the new what's going to be released. And the big walking orc gun clearly is going to be a thing. I think Auspex Tactics said that was what it was likely to be when they showed off the image. He just had a Death Dread standing in its place, but this thing looks awesome.
I'm just going to say, it seems pretty clear to me that the orcs are getting more new toys than the Space Marines, which it should be. The Space Marines get plenty of new toys, but I'm looking at all this stuff and I'm like, oh, the orc stuff looks really cool though.
I want to know. I wonder if the Gutsmech is actually not going to be in the box, because they could be like, here's a $130 kit or something. I wonder if Gutsmech's not going to be in the box.
Well, there was supposed to be some sort of mounted hero in there.
Really?
Although,
who knows though? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's all speculation.
It's hard to say.
Nothing's confirmed.
Oh yeah, the psychic orc dude.
No, this is the guy that's still in the pilot seat, I think. Keep going.
Oh, just getting killed.
And there's the new war boss. That is beautifully rendered. Look at that shot.
That is really, really
good. That is exceptional. That looks like it exists in three-dimensional space.
I feel like he's cool. I don't feel like he offers anything new above the existing war boss sculpts, as far as I can tell.
I think he's pretty cool. I like the new war boss. Here's the top view of the big walking gun. It's going to be sick. And there's the mech that built him. And then your guy, it's Lamartie's, jumps down and smacks him in the face.
He's not Lamartie's.
He's not?
No, I think he's just a new jump chaplain, because there's not a Primaris one.
Okay.
So I think he's the new Primaris jump chaplain. Yeah, and he's just murking some orcs like he does.
You don't notice he's a chaplain until like a moment later, like he first puts his helmet on and it's a skull. Yeah.
You know what? As much as I was complaining about the animation, every single one of these still frames looks really amazing.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to have to watch it again after we film this.
Yeah, probably.
I'm intrigued. We watched it 3 times in a row. Here's the weird boy.
Constantly. He was cool. He looks awesome. He was just like spitting acid all over a bunch of people.
I got a shot of that here.
And then did like,
that's
dude,
so
and like the
cool.
smoke coming out of his eyes.
Oh my god,
dude, that's ridiculously rad.
So obviously he's gonna have a torrent attack. Is that what I'm to conclude?
That's definitely what it looks like to me. But he also had like this psychic wave that he like released,
especially when he was killed. You know they're teasing out rules.
That
the
was,
moment he died, he deadly demised.
Yeah, he's got a huge deadly demise. That's what I got from that,
which is so cool. I'm so excited to see.
There it is.
Here it is. That's a shot.
There's no
like,
scale. That was a battlefield.
Yeah, he was smaller than that light spot in the middle.
Although I was a little bit sad that after this giant explosion, the chaplain just like flies away and he's like, "Yeah, that's right."
He's like, "I'm fine." Plot armor. Okay, this is a shot of, you can see here's
the Stompa.
The Stompa, another Stompa right here.
Yeah.
These are cool. So this was like the war boss running in and all of the stuff.
Look at the
this
cute
was,
little squigs.
So we can kind of see a size comparison. If that's the Stompa, this gun looks like it's maybe a third of the height of the Stompa.
It's really hard to say with the perspective.
Maybe it is.
I mean, yeah, obviously much smaller.
Yeah. I hope that's in there. And then I had to get this shot. That's
the chaplain.
That's a beautiful rendering right there. Usually when I see Warhammer renderings, my biggest complaints are the corners of the mouth, which they kind of camouflaged pretty well here. No animators seem to like have the money. It's usually about money, I'm willing to bet. That they don't have the money to get like a control feature that is pulling the cheeks and the corners of the mouth back. So it looks like everyone's talking like this. It's just weird. But they either camouflaged it well or did a good job here. And the eyes.
Well, also when I was watching this, the faces really stood out to me. Like they definitely spent a lot of time on a few of these faces.
Yeah.
Like for sure.
That's cool. It's cool. And then here, when you see the jump chaplain first jump down with the other, presumably Vanguard
These
veterans.
are definitely Vanguard veterans. I couldn't get much detail on these, though. There were a couple of frames and I felt like they almost looked blue, and I was a little confused by that.
Well, I was looking in the background and seeing these, what must be hive cities, which we haven't had a lot of opportunity to get a look at, except for on Dami Lee's architecture channel. Like the hive city in the background is cool.
Yeah.
Okay, and then this is where they started to point out that this is mostly, maybe the whole version or edition is happening on Armageddon.
Yeah, whereas before, like, you know, the Tyranids were coming in on a very large front, and now the focus is just like on a new spot that's more central, and it's mostly focused on this like one region. Armageddon.
Right. And then Simon Lee pointed out that there was a missed opportunity to name the box Wogmageddon. That would be a terrible name, but I appreciate your commitment to the bit. And the cover art. This is what we were saying earlier.
And immediately we both looked at each other because we were like, that looks familiar. And they're like, does that look familiar to you all?
And then he's like, some of you aren't as old as me. And we're like, we're both as old as you. I love that.
And that was the first box we ever bought.
I need
way
that
back
art.
in the day. I know.
This model is actually released. There is a metal model that is this pose and this guy. And I really want to paint him up exactly like he is in this image.
For sure.
Okay, so what happened after this? This is the part.
So they start telling us a little bit more about the rules that are going to happen in 11th edition and how things are going to change.
Right. Up to this point, we'd been really just looking at the models and the new reveals, and that's exciting.
Right.
But
just
this
the things
is the
they're
real
teasing.
meat. They're changing the rules, and some of these changes are really significant.
Yeah. So 10th edition seemed about streamlining. Was that the word that they used?
I think that seems appropriate. Yeah.
Simple but still complex.
Yeah, they had like you have 6 stratagems now instead of 25, and like all these things.
Yeah.
So they were trying to simplify it, but now it seems the initiative is about trying to combine the narrative element of Warhammer with the balanced chess-like gameplay.
Which I'm going to be honest is the most exciting thing that I saw from the show, because, I mean, we both started getting into Crusade more recently. I've been trying to get a bunch of people into Crusade for a long time, and not that many people seemed into it.
Yeah.
But we finally started a Crusade. I started a Crusade at my local game store.
We've played one match, and he already shamed my Death Dread. Shame!
Your Death Dread shamed himself.
I'll kill you. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think this is really cool because we were just discussing that like narrative is really particularly fun. It is really it's what we like and we like to reenact, and it makes it more lifelike and vivid, but it also seems to be often at the expense of like competitive balance. Like if you're going to have really wacky terrain, for example, that can contribute to a narrative, but now it's not as literally balanced on the battlefield. Like there's a give and take, so to speak. And I'm excited that they're going to try and find a way to fit them together. I hope they succeed.
Yeah, but on top of that, just like the fact that like so often you'll like deploy or have your guys moving around and they're like hiding behind this terrain feature so that they can't be seen, and just being in positions that they shouldn't be if you were kind of trying to imagine it.
They're in positions that make perfect sense for the game, but not as a diorama of an actual battlefield. And we're going to talk about it in just a second. They specifically changed some certain rules that seem to be targeted at those weird artifacts of the battlefield that are, because this is a game with weird rules.
Yeah.
They're trying to minimize it.
So they dive into this a little bit more by talking about certain aspects of this, but I feel like they kind of left this largely mysterious.
I thought they were pretty explicit about some critical things.
I hope it's more than the things that they mentioned, because I would feel like they didn't live up to this promise. Then.
Okay. No, I see.
Saying.
They did some superficial things and made those clear, but you're saying, and I agree. Maybe they did some more.
Yeah, just the fact that this is the overarching thing, because I've played a lot of competitive 40K and I love competitive 40K, but also like it starts to feel
samey. Yeah,
kind of samey.
Yeah, and the soft launch of the codices.
So the codexes will still be good. The narrative books will still be good.
Yes, the whole room sighed in
audible
gratitude.
sigh of relief.
Oh God, thank God.
And then on launch, we're getting 70 new detachments.
70 new detachments are going to be coming out immediately. So everybody's going to be shuffling their gameplay, having a whole new background to try and figure out. And Jay finally gets his wish. He said, why don't you give me more detachments? It's just words. Here's all your words. It's going to be so many words now.
So many words.
And that the detachments are not exclusive.
Yeah, they're going to be modular. So they specifically said that you can smoosh 2 of them together. I don't know if we can smoosh more than that.
Yeah, fair. They did specifically, we're talking about Dark Angels, I assume. They said Terminators and bikes. So I think they were thinking Ravenwing, Deathwing. They're like, you want to do both? Do it.
Yeah. So it was like 1 or 2 examples, but the examples only had 2 different things in them.
That's a good point. Maybe it's a maximum of 2 detachments.
That was kind of the impression that I got. It was never said.
I'm hoping that means there's going to be a little bit of a battle force org chart. Like if you're going to have 2 detachments, you need to have at least 1 battle line unit in each one or something like that.
Yeah.
Like some minimum like that, I'm hoping is what that's going to mean.
But the other thing that just makes me think of is just like, if you have that many detachments, they didn't say whether you'd be able to do that with the old detachments. I kind of felt like there was an implication that the new detachments were going to be smooshed togetherable,
while the old ones were going to be exclusive.
Right. Again, it was never really said, but I kind of felt like that was what was implied. But I also just wonder, like, if you have all these different detachments and then you can start combining them, that gives you so many more possibilities.
70 factorial? No, 70 times 69.
Well, if you could take every detachment for every faction, yeah.
Oh, that's a good point.
But that's part of also what makes me wonder if maybe the other ones can also be smooshed together, because you're only going to get 2 or 3 detachments per army. So if you only have 2 or 3 detachments, you can smoosh together.
There's 29 factions?
27.
27 factions. So probably 3 each.
Right. So that would gives you 3 to 6 possibilities if you're combining them all, which, is not as impressive.
And some of them are going to be for Imperial agents. They clearly were going hard on the Imperial agents, so maybe they'll have something that's actually competitive now. That would be cool, wouldn't it? Yeah. And or maybe Imperial agents are supposed to be the detachment that you add next to any of your other maybe Imperial agents fit in now because they can be a detachment on the side.
I had not considered that.
That would make more sense.
That's a really good observation.
Yeah, cool.
I love this one because we actually even did this in our last narrative campaign. We were like, all right, no more circle objectives. Your objectives now are probably going to be terrain features, it looks like.
Well, it seems like they said it was literally a square, and I don't know that it gets any more complicated than this. What it is
they didn't actually show a square. It was like a weird shape, which I actually took to be the outline of a ruin.
I thought it looked like a square, and they were saying your entire unit has to be inside of this square, and you're supposed to sort of nest 1 building into it. That was the implication I got. So no longer...
That's so interesting. They did say that you could put terrain on it. Although I kind of thought it was going to be the terrain feature itself. But yeah, interesting. I got a different read on that.
Yeah. I guess we don't know for sure here, but whatever the case,
I'm not going to lie.
If
Objectives go from being circles to squares, and that's like the big revelation, I'm going to be a little bit annoyed. I'm sorry.
No more circles. That's what they've got to say. Oh my God. No, I think it's like a different mechanism. I think you only get to hold it if your entire unit is inside of it and you're.
What?
Yeah, that was the sense I got. I thought I might have invented a bunch of this.
Definitely don't think you have to have your whole unit inside of it.
Okay.
I just felt like it was. Wow, I'm really curious now because I felt like it was really clear that they're like, your objective now is a terrain feature.
Maybe then you just touch it still?
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Although you're right, they did specifically say you can dress it up with whatever, so maybe I missed that.
I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. But objectives are going to be different in 11th edition.
Yeah, maybe squares, no circles.
Sweet. Love it.
Game changer.
Okay. Oh, look at that.
No more.
Okay.
Every battle is a story. So they also talked about the fact that when you had a detachment, it gave you some sort of like footing or like
a disposition. They called it. Force disposition.
Yeah.
Like I wrote this down somewhere.
And so your mission is now determined by the interaction of your detachment or detachment's dispositions with your opponents.
Yeah. So like the way that your army's disposition and the disposition of your opponent are both going to be considered to generate the nature of the narrative of this game. And this is going to be a systematic thing that you decide when you look at your relative detachments.
I almost wondered if that was going to like take the place of secondaries. I kind of felt like they were going to imply that, but then they kind of took a left turn. But that was like my initial thought in the way that they were presenting it.
Interesting.
I hope that's not the case. I like the random secondaries, but I also, I see their limitations. They're fun, but they're not the most fair.
I can imagine random secondaries, but they are like sort of confined to certain stories. I don't know. There's a billion ways they could go about this, actually. But whatever the case, I think this is going to be really cool. And it makes me want to experiment more with. I'm going to be more inclined to bounce back and forth between my orcs and my chaos, and even like making a traitor guard.
If you know it's going to change your mission.
Yeah, because like there might be missions that are entirely inaccessible with the armies we mostly like to play.
Or I love the idea that some detachments could get stronger because it's easier to build into the specific thing that detachment is trying to achieve with those units.
Yeah.
So I think that might be really cool, but I guess we'll have to see how that plays out.
Did they kind of explained what some of the dispositions might be? I don't think I wrote any of them down, but they were like giving examples, like if they're like really tactical and it's about objective, or if they're just head takers and they want to kill everybody.
Yeah.
Like those are sort of the profiles that might be your army's disposition.
I think the two that they mentioned were one faction wants to kill everything and the other wants to hold their ground.
Right. What a lame. Who has the army that wants to just hold their ground? That sounds lame.
Imperial Fists.
Lame. Wait, isn't Valrak?
Yes,
Imperial
yes, he
Fist?
is.
He's going to hate that.
Oh, no more stratagem stacking.
So, and they weren't exactly clear enough to me on this. They were like, oh, you can't use one stratagem per turn, or like one per phase, or just you can't do two stratagems with the same unit in the same phase. But there's some kind of limitation where you can't just blitz all of your command points on one unit and turn them into a Death Star now.
So it's either that you can only play one stratagem per phase on a unit, or one stratagem per turn on a unit.
Right.
It was one of those two, because they specifically mentioned that like if you use the command reroll, now you're locked out of other stratagem options, which I also thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Which also means if you buff your unit with a stratagem, obviously, then now you can't command reroll.
Holy buns. That makes every single buff that needs to be like in the command phase but benefits your close combat. Mm-hmm. Say like you're about to charge. Imagine the risk of I'm going to give them a close combat buff, and then if they fail their charge, I can't use a command point to reroll their charge.
Yeah.
Oh, every close combat stratagem now feels like a scarier, unless it's like when they're already in combat. But
yeah.
I
kind of hope it's one stratagem per phase rather than per turn, but I feel like either could be fun.
I feel like one stratagem per phase would adequately prevent the stratagem stacking. I think that does the job.
I also like that because like there's so many times when I've played a game against something and I see what something's doing and I see what it's about, and then I'm like, oh, you just played 3 stratagems. Oh, this is way killier than I realized.
Oh, the entire mechanism has just changed.
Right.
Everything I know is wrong. Yeah.
Like I definitely get surprised by that. People are good about warning me. I mean, I don't really feel like there are very many gotchas that I encounter. But like, you know, you start to develop an intuition if you play someone or if you play certain units.
I feel weird about the toxic pleasure of a gotcha moment. I don't want to ruin anyone's day, but I do want to surprise them in battle because that's cool. But then all that means is that I just fooled them into the thing that they didn't know was I don't know. Like if it were a real battle, I would want a gotcha moment because that's fun. But on a game, in this game, it seems like it's not fun because it's too big of an investment.
Well, what I've mostly encountered people doing is like you tell everybody and you warn everybody about what you can do at the beginning of the game. And then if they forget, then you get your like legit gotcha and you're like, I warned you.
Yeah, that's the way to go. Make sure they know everything at the beginning and then be like, I don't know. What is the love you the card?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm a big fan of this one.
We'll see. We'll see exactly what it means though. Again, these are pretty hand wavy right now.
Agreed.
Oh, the stay hidden rule is really crazy. And I think this is kind of what I was talking about earlier, where they're trying to remove the artifacts of weird positioning that the gamey rules created, where before at the beginning, even though there's like a clearly fortifiable position that is like a wall, all your guys are standing behind the entire terrain feature because if they step in, then they're now visible. So they don't actually take up where they should. So the stay hidden rule is kind of interesting. It says that you cannot shoot at an enemy unit that has not yet shot if it's more than 15 inches away. And this is conditional on them being in a terrain piece.
Yeah.
So they can't just be out in the open and get this. But if they're in a terrain feature and they've not shot anything, it doesn't matter if they're visible because they're not visible unless they're within 15 inches of an opponent.
The very first thing that this makes me think of is now you can deploy your weapons that have heavy in a terrain piece and have them completely hidden until you want to use them. You get the heavy bonus and now they're visible.
Oh.
So it means that your heavy units get an additional bonus the first time you decide to use them if they've been hiding in a terrain piece.
Yeah. I'm also curious which dimensions that 15 inches exists in. If it's exclusively horizontal, that's one thing. But if it's also includes vertical and you can get your guys up into an 8 or 10 inch freaking second or third story and they're invisible up there and then they get descending fire and then also or like they might be really hard to see up there.
Well, that was the other thing that it made me think of because they specifically, I don't remember exactly what they said, but they said something about like, and you can position your guys like up in cover. And I was like, you can deploy heavy weapons in an elevated like plunging fire position and then decide when they're going to shoot and enter the battle.
Dude, that could be so huge. Okay, can you help me with a math thing? I've designed our terrain so that each story is exactly 4 inches tall. So if they were on the second story, the third story, they would be 8 inches high. So if they're at 8, what is the third leg of a triangle that is 8 inches and 15 inches?
What is that? So basically
8, 15, yeah.
X.
What is that? If I was on the second story, how close to them do you have to be?
Yeah, so it would just be 15 squared minus 8 squared and the square root of that.
Okay, what's that?
225 minus 64. Come on. I can't do that in my head. And the square root of that. 12.7.
So 12.7 inches. If you're on the second story and if the 15 inches is not just horizontal, if you're on 8 inches high, then you have to get within 12.7 inches to shoot them. Dude, nobody's going to get within 12.7 inches of your...
You say that, but I'm actually surprised that that's less of a benefit than I thought. That's just like, well, now you have to get an extra 2.3 inches closer.
You're right. You're right. It wasn't that big a difference. But it is big enough.
But if you're on the 5th story, you have to be in the building.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. I have a question. If no, let's skip it. Yeah, the stay hidden rules may be very potent.
Also, I really like it just because so much of 40K is about keeping things hidden and ready and waiting for when the right moment to like use that asset is. I feel like this adds a dimension specifically to shooting armies, but I guess to both, that really allows them to play in that way and interact with the game in a way that before I feel like was mostly, something that melee armies did. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a subtle difference, but I feel like it allows them to play that game a little bit more.
Yeah. It also though makes setting up your shooting guys just a little bit less delicate. Positioning is slightly less delicate.
That's true. How many times I've just been in a building and I'm like, oh, can you sliver around and see this way?
Yeah.
And knowing now that I can just have it in the terrain feature and be like, you can't get this.
You can get this. Yeah. I don't know.
I'm down for that. I like this a lot.
I think Mike is going to be really stoked about it for his Tau.
For sure. All right. I was super confused by this one. The combat cleanup.
Fast dice rolling makes perfect sense to me. So now fast dice rolling is part. It used to be that technically you're supposed to do one attack at a time for purposes of rerolls, which is dumb.
And then you just can fast roll, and then everybody fast rolls anyway. So that's the only way it's ever done.
Yeah.
But
so
the
now,
rules are written as though that's not the case.
Right. Because you can figure out why on your own. Okay. The combat activation. They said that on your turn, you get to pick the first of the fights first units. That's the change. Normally, whether it be fights first phase or fights normal phase, the other person always picks a unit first.
Yeah.
But now, and this is a little hazy, but what they're saying that during the fights first phase, it's the player whose turn it is who gets to pick the first unit. So if I charge into it, just your Howling Banshees, they have forever fights first, and I charge into it. If that's the only battle on the battlefield, I'm going to fight your fights first, Banshees first.
Yeah. Which,
thank God.
But even if you charge into other things, you're still going to fight there first.
Oh, yeah.
So I like this.
It drastically diminishes the value of fights first as a passive trait.
I agree, because if you only have one fights first unit, it's not worth anything anymore.
Right. You need to have army-wide fights first.
Yeah.
And that makes your giant block of, didn't you have intercessors with a captain that you were using? They have
yeah. I've got 10 assault intercessors with the sanguinary priest that I give the fights first enhancement to.
Yeah. And then you're just like, come get this.
Although I did recently play a game against somebody else who had a similar kind of unit with fights first, and we were both just facing off for several turns because neither of us wanted to charge and die. I was like, well, this is pretty silly though.
Yeah.
Something had to be done about fights first. But I am concerned about the fact that means that if you only have one fights first unit in your army, it's almost not worth having the fights first at all.
Yeah, it's true. One is not enough. One does basically nothing for you.
Yeah, I am confused about that. I wonder if that's literally just what it is.
I'm confused about this next part. So they said that...
Yeah, this is the part I was confused
Army-wide pile-in happens all at once. So you charge with 3 separate things. Instead of picking a unit, they pile in, fight, and then consolidate. Now, during your fight phase, your whole army is going to do their pile-in. Then your whole army is going to do each of their respective combats, and then they're all going to do their consolidate.
But the reason I'm confused by that is you're going to do all your pile-ins, and then your opponent's going to do all their pile-ins?
I guess so.
And then who does their pile-ins first? Because some of those units might fight before yours.
Right, I guess.
I mean, obviously, they're going to have to flesh this out. So
I think what I'm hearing is the person whose turn it is probably going to pile in and consolidate first every time.
That makes sense.
I think that's going to end up making a surprisingly big benefit for being for fighting on your turn, especially for world eaters who can do 6-inch pile in and consolidate. And it's your turn and you get to do all your pile-ins first. Holy butts. That might actually be a really significant change. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was confused that he said that this was kind of a way to combat people essentially using it to get extra movement. And I don't see how that is the implication.
I don't fully either. Yeah. I feel like this is one of the rules that might just require testing it out to see how
or just actually reading the real rules. They're just like, haha.
Yeah, here's your bullet point.
Yeah, do you want to see a quarter of the rule?
Yeah. And the other one that is huge is the charge measuring.
That's freaking cool.
Okay, so it used to be that you would pick who you're going to charge and you'd try and roll that distance. And if you failed, then you're just going to sit there with your thumb up your ass. And then that's probably going to die. Mm-hmm. But now you roll to charge. And then you have that number of inches as a resource to pick any unit that is available within that distance.
I feel like that's going to make screening things out way harder.
It's basically impossible now.
Well, it's not that. It's just that, like, if you screen something out and you're like, hey, you can charge this unit in front, which is an auto charge, or you can go for the 7 or the 8 around back, sometimes you're like, well, crap, like I can't risk that. Very often you're like, I can't risk that. So you just end up charging the thing in front because it's, you know, you're going to lose less.
Right.
So now if you like screen out your opponent's just going to roll. And if they roll high, then it's like, oh, great. All right. Well, I'm just going to like not worry about that now.
The sergeant just realizes, we're juiced. Let's go that way.
I do like their reasoning though, because it is really frustrating, especially as a Blood Angels player, just being like stuck out in the open.
When you fail your charge, that you're just standing out in the open does seem bonkers.
It's also really weird that I feel like one of the implications is when you're positioning for a charge, you're more likely, at least for me, I'm like, well, I might string myself out so that I have something that's practically an auto charge so that I can go for the long charge. And if I fail, then I get the auto charge instead. So I might end up stringing out just so that I have multiple charge targets.
As options?
As options.
And now, like he said, like this means that you might put your guys in a position to try and make a 12-inch charge in a way that you wouldn't have tried before, because now you can be like, okay, well, it's 12 inches to that, but also it's only 7 inches over there. So if I fail the 12, I still have my backup plan. It's not an opportunity cost. It's like you get both choices.
Well, the other thing that occurs to me is I wonder if this very slightly increases charge ranges, because you cannot declare a unit for a charge that's more than 12 inches away, which means there is no such thing as a 12-inch charge. There's only an 11-inch charge. Because in order to reach something that's less than 12 inches away, you've got to roll an 11.
Right.
So now you charge something that's almost 13 inches away if you happen to roll a 12. Something that would not previously have been declarable.
Right. You were not allowed to declare something that was that far away.
Right.
Wow.
Which, I mean, it's a minor thing, but...
Well, it was basically never interacted with because nobody was trying to make 12-inch charges before.
Right.
So, whoa. Mm-hmm. Wow, I didn't think about that. I don't know if you guys caught that. What he was saying is like, oh, fuck it, you caught it. Wow, okay. The combat disembark. That is also, a lot of these are going to be affecting World Eaters most especially. Like, the pilot and consolidate happening at once might be big for that. Mm-hmm. Fights first and combat activations maybe makes a huge difference. Charging is going to make a huge difference. And then the combat disembark is where if your unit, if you have a transport that is in contact or in close combat range with an enemy, then you can get those guys that are in the transport out and immediately put them in combat range with that opponent, that opposing unit.
I was really confused by that one too, because I mean, we can't do that now, but also I feel like you wouldn't want to do that now, because otherwise you can just disembark and then charge in and get a charge bonus. So I'm like, why would you want to disembark? Oh, does it also mean that you can't be wrapped as effectively because now you can disembark and be in close combat?
It definitely means
so you can't be screened out. Actually, if it was for that purpose, I really like it, because I think it's really annoying, the idea that you can wrap a rhino and be like, haha, everyone is dead because you can't fit them.
That is pretty
without
dumb.
Being in close combat.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. Like they're like screaming and sticking their head out the window to get out, and somebody's just like, Burr! Like it makes sense, but
I guess it's also, I've never seen that work and not be a terrible feels bad moment.
yeah, nobody's happy about it. Even the person who pulled it off, they're like, I'm sorry. Oh God. Okay. Okay, so leaders always lead. This is a new thing that they're talking about too. And this actually was a house rule.
Yeah, we house ruled this.
We house ruled that.
Well, we house ruled part of it.
Yeah, part of it. So now when you make your army roster, instead of deciding upon deployment, which unit your leader characters are attached to, you actually have to decide that in advance. It's part of your army roster. But whereas before, all of your characters would convey a benefit to the unit that they're attached to, it just says, while this character is attached to a unit. That conditional statement in the abilities meant that as soon as the unit was dead, your character lost their own buff, which was dumb. And that is apparently no longer a thing.
I'll bet you they did it exactly the way I suggested too, because they're keeping all the data sheets. I'll bet you they changed it so that a unit or a character always counts as leading a unit of themselves.
I think that makes sense.
I feel like that's the easiest way to fix that.
Yeah, problem solved.
Problem solved.
Also, look at this beautiful Alpha Legion. Dude, these guys...
He's hard not to look at. Yeah, that is a gorgeous Terminator.
Alpha Legion is just cool as balls. I'm a big fan. They kind of got your colors a little bit.
Oh yeah, Warhammer... The Warhammer app's no longer just in English.
Oh, yeah. They had like 27 languages. The guy's like, oh, good on you for remembering all those. And then they showed off some. This is the part where they're like literally showing off two of the models from the box.
This one tripped me out so hard.
Tell me about it.
Do you see his head?
I mean, not in this particular one.
Look at this. Look, what do you see on the back of his head?
Looks like print layers.
Those look like print layers.
But I think that's just because this is a prototype. I don't think that's because they're changing their manufacturing.
I don't. I just think it's really interesting that it looks pretty clear to me that this model was 3D printed.
Yeah, dude, for sure. They're prototyping on 3D printers.
Some people mentioned that in our Discord, but this is the first time I get to see clear evidence of it. I'm like, oh my God. Mentioning.
I mean, you'd be a fool not to use 3D printers as a prototyping tool if your games were a job.
I am so happy that they went back to the Mark 7 Screamer helmet.
The Screamer helmet,
That is so superior to the Primaris helmets, in my opinion. I mean, the Primaris helmets are cool, but like that's what I think of when I think of a Space Marine.
Yeah,
that's a Space Marine.
It looks a little different, I feel like, in this. It's like somehow the proportions are changed slightly. Maybe it's narrower. Maybe it doesn't reach as high on the upper lip. Maybe I feel like it used to go pretty close to the eyes. I don't know. I can't tell.
It looks like
to
see the whole face, I think.
Yeah, the fact that there's this collar in the way.
The bottom is like obscured.
Also, I thought this was kind of funny. Did you notice how on the right knee there's like a circular black shape? But it's not that there's a circular pad and that's what's painted black. It's just like somebody just painted a black circle on the knee.
Oh, that's interesting.
I mean, it's kind of weird. I
thought that there was one with the circular one and one that was just flat.
Yeah, dude. So I don't know. I can't really see the big difference. Except, again, I do think that they were trying to show off the transfers here, because you can see the metal or the metallic transfer. I can see that as like an upgrade finally.
Other than that, I feel like they just wanted to make a giant deal out of the fact that they're like, fine, y'all can have Screamer helmets again.
Yeah, I think that is the helmet as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I'm stoked about that.
And also, am I the only one who objects to the skull on the chest not being...
That's pretty common for Games Workshop painted models, actually.
They're just being lazy. What is this little weed in front? What is this?
Yeah, it's definitely
it's not a great base. I don't know.
This is why they were hiding them for the entire show.
Yeah. That's pretty good, though. It's pretty good.
They showed us one Blood Angel from the box. And
then they showed off the Orc. Which finally ended up being a solution to the problem of the old deja vu, right? So this is the solution to the old problem of the boys kit that has 4 shootas and 4 choppas and a big shoota, and that just ended up being an issue because WYSIWYG, if you play WYSIWYG, then you're screwed. But now it seems they're just like, you know what? Fine. All of your boys get both. Now all the boys get to have shootas and choppas and sluggas.
Shooty choppas.
Shooty chop sluggas. And I feel like that is huge. Like they've been turned into if you have 20 boys, you can shoot and actually expect to do some damage now.
Yeah. Just have so much volume fire. They basically just now they do damage in more than one phase.
Yeah.
In more than one turn and then die.
Right.
Or move on.
And I feel like that starts to take some of the emphasis off of the WOG turn, because it used to be all about the charge and everybody would advance and then fight. In that phase, nobody's shooting. But in all the other phases, when you don't have army-wide advance and charge, you could have all 20 boys shooting. And I think it's like it might be one shot rapid fire one also. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I feel like it was more than that. Why do I feel like it was 2 shots rapid fire 1 or 3 shots rapid fire 2?
No, I think you're talking about the big shooter. That's the big shooter.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they have 1 shot rapid fire 1. So if you have 20 boys and they're within 12 inches, you could have 40 shots. Or, well, I guess there's a knob and probably a couple heavy weapons. So like -6. Dude. That could be, you could actually expect to do some damage. And if you were in the tactical brigade, if that's still around, which it may or may not be, then you can find ways, I think, to give them +1 to hit. Can you imagine if you had 36 shots hitting on 4s that were all strength 4?
Every single one of your boy squads?
Holy buns! Like the boys just got buffed.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like it's reflected in the exquisite anatomy of this exceptionally buff right arm. Look at that.
And I really wish we had a picture of it, but I really, really liked the holster for this guy's shoot on his back. It just looks really cool.
He also has a pretty weedy base, doesn't he?
Again, this is why they're burying the bases for all these shots. Like, we could just hide this.
I guess there's no weed in this one.
Did they run out of budget? Probably not.
No, are you kidding me? They're making so much money.
It's fine. We'll just sell 1 more box.
When we made that video being like, don't only use proxies, like buy some games where we want to support. Everyone's like, they're making so much money. Shut your butt.
Fair.
Oh, dude, shoot or chop, but why not both? That was so funny. Yeah.
And
yes, there's 1 squig.
1 squig in the box.
There's at least 1 squig. Now we should probably cut this off as quickly as possible. No, we need to say, okay, we need some final points here. This has been a weird episode. This is not something that we've done before. We really are just testing the waters. If we sound weird, it's because we're not doing any extra editing. This is going to be as simple as possible. And the weird thing is that what you're seeing right now, it is currently last night.
Yeah, it's 2:00 in the morning this morning when you're watching this.
Right now it is 2:00 in the morning. Tomorrow it's last night.
Yes. Tomorrow was last night.
We're trying to get this like filmed, edited, posted, go home and go to sleep. So
yeah, because we really want to be able to share more aspects of the hobby, and we definitely want to do a lot more analysis, especially as new rules are coming out.
The channel's not going to change. We're still going to do the analyses.
But we just want to share more aspects of this hobby with you, and we just want to have ways that we can make more videos that y'all will enjoy. So
yeah, something that can happen like the in-between weeks, something that doesn't require Blake do a crazy deep dive every 2 weeks. We want to be able to put out a little bit more content and make this more regularly, and maybe make this a thing that can actually support us a little bit. Wouldn't that be sick?
Yeah.
So please give us some feedback. Tell us if this was cool. Don't tell us if it wasn't cool. If it wasn't cool, shut your mouth.
No, if it wasn't cool, let us know. So with that, comment for the comment god.
Comment for the comment god. Likes for the like throne. And let's end this right now.
Ending film for the film for the editing gods.
For the ending film for the editing gods. All right.
Thank you for watching another episode of Warhammer Math.
For the Emperor!